purpose of this video is to basically talk about the navigational and use features inside the ArcGIS Explorer Online. And what you see, we've logged into our account, and we've actually selected the countywide 2011-12 attendance boundary map. And you can see there's a few features up here. We can go back to our home button, which allows us to go back into the basic details of ArcGIS Online. It also allows us to share a map if we wish to save it. We can print it, we can change the base map, we can add additional content of our own to these maps. We'll talk a little bit about that at the end. So what you have here is, when you initially bring the map in, you can see there's a navigational bar over to the side, and there are layers, adding features, and then a map legend. If you really want to see what's currently available on the map as you see it, it's telling me that it has high school locations, high school attendance boundaries, which are the dark blue lines, and then the different colors are the high school attendance zones. Now as I hover over any one of those, you can see it's telling me in this case that zone is Leesburg High School, Tavares High, Lake Mineola High, and if I hover over the actual schoolhouse, it'll tell me that's Lake County School, South Lake School, Tavares High School, and Umatilla High School. First thing we're going to do is kind of navigate in to the map, and the easiest way to do that is using your scroll wheel on your mouse, but you can also use the navigation tool. As you see, as I hover over this side, we can move north, new, south, east, west. We can zoom in and zoom out just by clicking this button. If you have a scroll wheel, though, you can easily just scroll in by pushing your scroll wheel away from you. If you want to zoom out, you can pull it towards you. And of course the map will change for the different scales that you can see, and we'll go ahead and zoom into the berries here. And as it redraws, you can see it has the streets and street names, and at this point at certain scales we have things that turn on. In this particular case, we're actually able to see, if we go back to our legend, we can see that now the tax parcels have actually come on, and you can see those by those boundaries there. As we zoom in some more, what you'll see is now you'll see addresses popping up, and what it's telling us is that the green addresses are active addresses, the red ones are inactive, or ones that have been pre-addressed where there might not a residential or a commercial structure there. And as we zoom in even further, what we'll notice is the actual addresses will come up on the top of each one of those point addresses. So it's all scale dependent. Depends on at what scale you're looking at a particular time as to what you can actually see. If we go to back here now, we can turn. You see these check marks. What these check marks do is tell us what layers are actually active at the time. So if we wanted to turn the parcels and the addresses off and say that was too busy, we just unclick that layer. In this particular case, one of the things that's very helpful, we'll hit this back to get it out of the way, is we can actually change the base maps. By clicking the base map button, it allows us a variety of base maps that we can use. One of the most popular is this Bing Maps hybrid, which is actually an aerial photograph, and as you can see right here, this is Tavares High School. We hover over the school, it tells us that it is Tavares High. And again, if we go back to our layers, we turn that tax information back on, we can essentially zoom fairly close. And of course, what you see right here with the camera with the don't symbol through it is the fact that we've actually zoomed too close in, that the imagery is not designed to be viewed at that particular scale. So we just pull back a little bit and zoom out. And of course, you can see there's the transportation center, and in this case Tavares High School. We're just using our left mouse button, clicking, holding it down, and then once we get it to the point we want it to be, we just unclick, and then we can move our mouse back around. So there's another feature in here that's kind of nice, is there's a series of bookmarks that we've created. In this particular case, you can see we've created one for each of the high school areas. So if we want to go back to the entire county and look at the entire county, and again we have the aerial photography, we can go back and change our base map again. The Bing Road Maps was the one that we saw when we initially kind of signed in. And what we're looking at here are the high school boundaries. We can also go back. In this particular case, we could turn the high school zones off, and let's say we want to look at the middle school zones. And so at this point, we're now looking at middle school. You can see Oak Park, Carver, Tavares, and Umatilla. The other thing you can do is click on one of those. It'll actually highlight the boundary and give you the same basic name. Again, we could go back to, let's say we want to look at the South Lake High School, the general South Lake High School area, and that gives us another opportunity to zoom in to those areas as well. So hopefully this will give you. There's also a typical zoom where you can take and draw a box and zoom into a particular area. You can measure a distance if you need to understand how far a particular area is from another area. It happens to be in meters. We can change that to feet, and it gives us that information. We can do a distance, we can do a boundary. It gives us a variety of options in terms of that as well. So hopefully this will give you some basic techniques as to how to navigate inside a map.